Hello mga grade 10! Welcome to my channel. This is Tutor Marife. And this time, ituturo ko ulit ang finding terms of a given explicit formula for a geometric sequence. So ito yung given explicit formula. A sub n equals negative 5 multiplied by 1/2 raised to the power of n minus 1. So, sa mga grade 10 dyan na advanced na ang skills, piece of cake ito. Kasi substitution lang ito ng n equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8. Okay? Pero ginawa ko ang tutorial video na ito kasi ang gusto kong i-target na viewers dito ay mga grade 10 na hindi masyadong na-master ang GEMDAS rule. Ang GEMDAS rule po ay itinuro noong grade 7. Dun sa mga advanced schools, elementary, meron ng GEMDAS rule. Of course, nung grade 4, may PEMDAS rule na kayo, pero wala pang exponentiation. That's for E. Okay? Sa mga advanced schools kasi, ang GEMDAS, na-introduce na yan by grade 5 or grade 6. Yung meron ng exponential sa operations. Okay? Sa mga hindi masyadong advanced school, ang GEMDAS rule ay nag-start noong grade 7. So, it doesn't mean na kung grade 10 ka na, hindi na importante ang GEMDAS rule. So, nung grade 7 ka at hindi mo masyadong na-master yon, ito na, ihuhunt ka na ng poor mastery mo of GEMDAS rule pag gagawin mo itong problem na ito. Okay? So, sa mga medyo hindi confident sa GEMDAS rule, this video is actually for you. So, gaya nga ng sinabi ko kanina, magsa-substitute lang tayo ng n equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8. So, ipa-plug in mo lang yung mga values na yon dito sa n ng given formula. So, let's solve for the first term of the geometric sequence. That is, if n equals 1. So, plug in a sub 1 equals negative 5 times 1/2 raised to n minus 1. Okay. So, dito, sa problem na ito, ilang operations ang involved? Itong raised dot na ito indicates multiplication. Etong parenthesis na ito indicates grouping. Etong base tapos raised to a power of n minus 1 indicates exponentiation. So, ilang operations yung na-mix dito sa formula? We have G for grouping, E for exponentiation, and M for multiplication. Okay? So, etong grouping symbol na ito implies that the owner of this power or exponent is the whole fraction or the quotient of 1 and 2. So that means this exponent n minus 1 applies to the numerator 1 and to the denominator 2. So yun yung role ng G, grouping symbol na parenthesis. Okay? So, E, kailangan after plugging in Dapat pala nag-plug in ako dyan ng 1 kasi n equals 1. So, after plugging in your 1, and of course, evaluate the difference dito sa exponent, you have to evaluate the exponential expression first before you multiply. Because E comes before M. So, mauuna ang exponentiation kaysa sa multiplication. Okay? So, ang estudyante na hindi masyadong na-master ang GEMDAS rule, ito ang pwede niyang mali na gagawin. Gagawin niya, uunahin niya munang imumultiply kasi ang negative 5 and 1/2. Tapos, yung makukuha niyang product, yun ang i-raise niya sa exponent na nandito. Yun ang posibleng maling gagawin ng estudyante na hindi masyadong na-master ang GEMDAS rule. Okay, ano ba ang tama? E bago M. I-evaluate mo muna yung exponential term saka ka mag-multiply. So, ang last operation na ipe-perform mo dapat ay multiply. Okay, let's proceed. So, this is equal to negative 5 times 1/2 raised to 1 minus 1 is 0 equals, so this 0 exponent applies to the whole fraction 1/2 because of the grouping symbol parenthesis. And by 0 exponent law, any number, any group, any expression raised to 0 is always equal to 1. So, itong 1/2 raised to 0 mo ay equal sa 1. Application of the 0 exponent law. So, negative 5 times 1 equals negative 5. This is your first term. Next, let's find second term. So, that is if n equals 2. So, paulit-ulit lang yung process natin. You replace n with 2. A sub 2 equals negative 5 times 1/2 raised to n minus 1. It's 2 minus 1. So, it's equal to negative 5 times 1/2 raised to, what's the difference between 2 and 1? It's 1. Equals, exponentiate before you multiply. What is 1/2 raised to 1? It's still equal to 1/2 times negative 5. Yan. How do you multiply? Lahat ng whole numbers may invisible denominator na 1. So, ito ay the same as negative 5 over 1. And from your elementary, numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator, it's negative 5 over 2. This is your second term. Okay. Why are your answers negative? Lagi kong binabanggit sa mga video. If your operation is multiplication or division, and you determine the sign of your product or your quotient, you count the number of negative signs. So in this case, we are multiplying. You count the number of negative signs in your factors. So it's 1. If the number of negative signs is odd, the sign of your product is negative. So, kailan naman nagiging positive ang product? If the number of negative signs is even, then that's the time you have to put positive or your answer must be positive. Di mo na pala kailangang maglagay ng plus sign for positive. Okay. Pwede mo nang i-omit ang positive sign kung positive ang answer mo. That's understood to be positive. Kahit walang nakalagay na positive sign. Okay, next. Third term of the sequence. If n equals 3, plug in a sub 3 equals negative 5 times 1/2 raised to 3 minus 1. It's equal to negative 5 times, evaluate exponential first, 1/2 squared equals negative 5 times, what's 1/2 squared? You apply the exponent to both numerator and denominator. It's 1/4. 1 squared is 1. 2 squared is 4. This is also the same as over 1. Numerator times numerator is negative 5 over 4. At ito pa, yung gusto kong i-point out. If you write your final answer as this, it's not actually final. Kailangan masanay ka na pag ganyan, you finalize the sign of your answer, yung negative sign mo ay nakapagitna, katapat ng fraction bar mo. Ito ang tamang pag-express ng final answer. So, pag ang negative sign mo nakatabi lang sa numerator, or for example, nandito sa denominator, hindi naka-finalize ang sign. So, para kang nagdi-divide, kasi fraction is also for division. Para kang nag-divide na hindi mo na-determine ang magiging final sign para sa answer mo kung yung negative mo ay nandoon sa numerator or nandito sa denominator. Your final sign must be written na naka-level sa fraction bar. Okay? So, napakaliit na detalye na hindi pwedeng i-ignore. Tandaan nyo yan. So, let's solve for the fourth term. Substitute n equals 4. So, a sub 4 equals negative 5 times 1/2 raised to 4 minus 1. So, it's negative 5 times 1/2. 4 minus 1 is 3. So, by Gemda's rule, you evaluate exponential first before you multiply. So, what's 1/2 cubed? Apply 3 to both the numerator and the denominator because of the grouping symbol. 1 cubed is 1, 2 cubed is 8. Multiplied by negative 5. Again, negative 5 is the same as negative 5 over 1. Numerator times numerator is negative 5. Denominator times denominator is 8. Finalize the sign of your answer. Negative sa gitna, ka-level ng fraction bar, then fraction 5/8. This is your fourth term. Next, fifth term. If n equals 5, replace n with 5. A sub 5 equals negative 5 multiplied by 1/2 raised to 5 minus 1 equals negative 5 multiplied by, you subtract the exponents, it's 4. By Gemda's rule, evaluate first the exponential expression. Apply the exponent to both the numerator and the denominator. 1 raised to 4 is 1. 2 raised to 4 is 16. Multiplied by negative 5. Negative 5 is the same as negative 5 over 1. Numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. Finalize the sign of your answer. Negative ka-level ng fraction bar, 5 over 16. This is your fifth term. Last but not the least, eighth term. So if n equals 8. Replace n with 8. A sub 8 equals negative 5 multiplied by 1/2 raised to 8 minus 1. Negative 5 multiplied by 1/2. Find the difference. It's 7. Evaluate exponential first before you multiply. So negative 5 times. Apply the exponent 7 into both the numerator and the denominator. 1 raised to 7 is 1. 2 raised to 7 is 128. Isulat natin ang invisible denominator na 1. Numerator times numerator, 5. Denominator times denominator, 128. Finalize the sign of your answer. Negative, sulat sa level ng fraction bar. This is your eighth term. Okay? So, ang critical sa topic na to ay ang application ng GEMDAS rule. Kasi pag nagawa mo ng tama yung sequence of operations, maning-mani ito dahil nagsasubstitute ka lang. Okay? So, this is for grade 10, whether taga-Kabarwan o taga-ibang school, paki-share ito sa mga kakilala nyo na grade 10 at huwag din kakalimutan, of course, na i-subscribe o i-follow ang aking YouTube channel. It's Tutor Marife MCP. Maraming salamat!